Let's start this program by seeking God's grace. God's grace is experienced by us on every breath that we take. Hence, to start this program in a very special way, we are having Mr. Raghu and Harish and the team of research scholars with the Buddhist prayer in Pali language. Kindly be seated.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham sharanam gacchami, Dhammam sharanam gacchami, Sangham sharanam gacchami, Panatipata veramani, Sikkapadam samadhiyami, Adinnadana veramani, Sikkapadam samadhiyami, Kamesu micchachara veramani, Sikkapadam samadhiyami, Musavada veramani, Sikkapadam samadhiyami, Surameraya majjapamadana veramani, Sikkapadam samadhiyami, Bhojana hitaya, Bhojana sukhaya, Sadhu sadhu sadhuni. Jai Vijay.
Buddha was asked, "What have you gained through prayer and meditation?" He replied, "Nothing. However, let me tell you what I have lost: anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age and death." Thank you, Mr. Harish and team, for leading us into meaningful prayer. We move on with words of welcome. Extremely delighted we are by the gracious presence of our dignitaries. May I request Professor T.D. Kemparaju, Registrar, Mangalore University, to welcome our dignitaries.
To offer our respect and also to recall the messages of the great Indian architect of our Constitution, the social reformer and eminent jurist, the Babasaheb Dr.B.R. Ambedkar's 125th birthday anniversary. Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, I feel it is a very privilege on my part to welcome distinguished chief guest of this today's occasion, Professor B.L. Mungekar, Honorable Member of Rajya Sabha, former Member of Planning Commission, Government of India, and former Vice Chancellor of Bombay University. When our officers of this Dr. Ambedkar Study Center has requested Professor B.L. Mungekar to be the guest of today and to deliver a talk on the role of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in building the modern India, he was kind enough to accept our request and to be here on this very auspicious day to deliver a talk on the role of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in building modern India. Sir, our faculty, the non-teaching staff, and the authorities of the university, we are very much grateful to you for showing your keen interest to be here and accept our invitation for this occasion. On behalf of university, I welcome you, sir. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to welcome our chief guest by offering a flower bouquet. Ladies and gentlemen, our Vice Chancellor is always so supportive in all the academic as well as the various co-curricular and other type of activities. When we requested him to be the president of the occasion, our Honorable Vice Chancellor has agreed to be here, and he is here as a president of this today's function on the Dr. Ambedkar's 150th birthday anniversary. On behalf of all of you, I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K. Bhairappa. Now I call upon the Director of Ambedkar Study Center to offer him a bouquet. Also very happy to welcome all our syndicate and academic council members, members of the teaching and non-teaching staff, the officers of the university, the student friends, the media friends, and all other invitees for this today's function. On my personal behalf and also on behalf of the university, I extend a warm welcome to all of them. Thank you very much.
Jai Bhim, good morning to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, Professor K. Bhairappa, the distinguished chief guest of this function, Professor B.L. Mungekar Saab, my friend, Registrar of this university, Professor T.D. Kemparaj, Srimati Sabita, Special Officer, SCST Cell, Mangalore University, all the distinguished faculty of this teaching faculty of Mangalore University, non-teaching staff, research scholars, student friends, and all other invitees. So as you all know, the Mangalore University celebrates Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar birthday in a very special way. And you know, this university is called University with Difference. The university also organizes program in a very different way. Right from the beginning, from the inception of this center, it started in 2005 with UGC assistance. Now the state government, Karnataka state government, has also extended financial assistance to the activities of Ambedkar Center. And right from the beginning, the center is in forefront to organize a very meaningful academic and research activities under this Babasaheb Ambedkar Study Center. And for every program that we organize under Ambedkar Center, we always make best effort to invite the best scholar, academician, activist, social reformer, and also politicians who have made their own mark in their respective fields. And this year, as you know, the whole country is celebrating 125th birthday of this great leader. And this celebration is very special to the majority of the people of this country, whether women, downtrodden, marginalized, OBCs, or any other community. Everybody remembers Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar for various contributions. And Mangalore University has already chalked out many programs on account of 125th birthday anniversary of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar. And our Honorable Vice Chancellor is kind enough to instruct me to initiate several actions, and as per his direction, we had in fact started a special lecture series program on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ideas and contributions in September 2015. And we have also planned various programs, academic, cultural, extension program throughout the year to commemorate 125th birthday of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. And we have celebrated Constitutional Day on 26th November 2015, and we have also celebrated Mahaparinirvana in a very befitting way by distributing various laptops to various scholars and students. And this year, we have planned many programs. We are already implemented one program, like, conducting various competitions like essay writing, quiz, poetry writing, and debate on Ambedkar and Ambedkar ideas and Ambedkar philosophy for college and postgraduate, undergraduate and postgraduate students of Mangalore University. In coming days, we also extend this program to the high school students. The very purpose of this is to spread the message and philosophy of Babasaheb Ambedkar across all sections of the people, particularly with new generation, young generation. And this is very essential at the present moment for various and obvious reasons. And we have also planned various workshops at college level. We have already conducted one workshop in Udupi district last month, and many more workshops are planned in our affiliated and constituent colleges coming months. We are also organizing various national conference and seminars in coming months, most probably in July, August and September. And we have also planned, we have already planned to recognize and felicitate achievers from the downtrodden sections, achievers from the different areas. So like that, we have planned many programs, and these programs are going to be conducted and organized and implemented throughout the year. And this is the way, and this is what we want in the name of Ambedkar, and in that way we want to celebrate his birthday in a befitting manner, this special birthday, 125th birthday. Usually we used to invite a big scholar or activist or something who has made some outstanding contribution in the field of social science and also Ambedkar studies. But this time, as it is special, I requested our Honorable Vice Chancellor to give a consent to invite a very renowned economist of the country whose contributions has made a very important mark on the young generation, especially in the universities, students and research scholars, and also faculty. And he is not only a renowned economist, he is also activist. He is an activist, strong activist for social reforms. And he is not only an activist, he is also a politician, distinguished parliamentarian who commands respect across the parties, whether it's a Congress, BJP, Communist, or any other party. And today's guest, Professor B.L. Mungekar, has all these qualities. We are very fortunate to have Professor B.L. Mungekar today as chief guest, and he has agreed to speak on the role of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar in building modern India. Sir, on behalf of Mangalore University and on my personal behalf, once again, I extend a very warm welcome. And with the permission of our Vice Chancellor and the guest and audience, I would like to introduce you to, the chief guest to the audience, this audience. Professor Mungekar has completed his higher education, both MA in Economics and PhD from Bombay University. And presently, he just now is completing his term in Rajya Sabha. Apart from that, he is heading several parliament committees. He is the member of Parliamentary Standing Committee of Human Resource Development, and he is also member of Consultative Committee of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Select Committee on the Goods and Service Taxes, and also Deputy Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation. Formerly, he was a member of Planning Commission, and I just would like to remind my dear audience, especially the research scholars and students, he is the one who is responsible for coining the concept inclusive growth and development, which was the main theme of 11th Five-Year Plan, under which he introduced several schemes for students and research scholars. One of the most outstanding scheme is Rajiv Gandhi doctoral fellowships and postdoctoral fellowships for the downtrodden sections. Not only for SC/STs, he has also designed a program, fellowship programs of OBCs, women, As a result of it, UGC now has been extending several fellowship programs, and as a result of this, when I came to this university, the research scholars from the marginalized communities, in 2003, there were only few. Maximum, I could find 5 research scholars from the scheduled castes or scheduled tribes. Today, I'm not sure about the exact number. Definitely, the total number of research scholars from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe is exceeding 130. So, and this is a small university compared to Mysore, Bangalore, or any other big university. Then imagine what is the number of research scholars who have been availing these benefits under Rajiv Gandhi fellowship schemes in those universities. It's a huge number. And I still remember, before 11th 5-year plan, the gross enrollment ratio in higher educational institution was 12% in that age group, 19 to 23 age group. Today, the latest report says the gross enrollment ratio has been doubled, almost all 100% increase in gross enrollment ratio in higher education institutions. It stands at 24%, and it's all because of 11th 5-year plan financial assistance and programs extended to marginalized sections, women, and other backward classes. And the more number of students, scholars, and also teachers are benefited because of these schemes. And it's all because of Professor B.L. Mungekar. So, he played a very major role as a member of Planning Commission in 11th Plan by designing the entire plan, especially for the downtrodden and women. And formerly he was also functioned as Vice Chancellor of Bombay University, 157 years old university in this country. And one more thing I would like to mention here, he is the first non-Brahmin Vice Chancellor of Bombay University in 157 years. Not the Dalit, first non-Brahmin Vice Chancellors in 115 years of that Bombay University. So he also functioned as President Chairman of IIS, Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Simla. His basic specialization is industrial economics, and he was honored by Indian Economic Association. He had got the chance to chair Indian Economic Association conference in New Delhi. And to his credit, there are various honors. I mentioned very few. Vishwesvaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, has conferred D.Litt honorary causa on Professor Mungekar, and he was honored with Pride of Maharashtra, given by Maharashtra Times, a leading influential Marathi daily, in 2009. He was also awarded University Grant Commission Teacher Fellowship, and he was also awarded Marathi Arthashastra Parishad Presidentship, and he was the President of First International Buddhist Conference on Buddhism and the Contemporary World, held in Mumbai, 2005. He was the President of 31st Annual Conference of the Indian Academy of Social Science, held during December 2007, and Vice President of Mumbai Marathi Gratha Sangrahalaya. He is also honored with following Bharat Ratna Dr.B.R. Ambedkar, Babasaheb B.R. Ambedkar Award by Marwadi Foundation, Nagpur, 2009, Rajashri Sahu Memorial Award, Rajiv Gandhi Award as Best Educationist, Bhai Madhava Rao Bagal Award, Mukanayak Award, Ambedkar Ratna Award, Satyashodhaka Dinakar Rao Javalkar Memorial Award, and Outstanding Educationist Award. Apart from that, he also headed several institutions. He was the Chairman of National Committee on Buddhist Learning and Teaching, Government of India, New Delhi, and Chairman of Standing Committee on Intersectoral Issues of Tribal Development. And he has submitted 3 important reports for the tribal development in this country. One is General Issues of Tribal Development, the second one Displacement and Compensation, Resettlement and Rehabilitation, and third one Rising Levels of Governance and Administration in Tribal Areas. He was the Chairman of National Eligibility Test Review Committee. He was the Chairman Committee on Financing Higher Education, Technical Education, Chairman of Subcommittees of International Seminar on Buddhism, commemorating 2550th Mahaparinirvan of Lord Buddha. So, there are plenty, I skip. He is the member of various national and international bodies, academic and research bodies, and he has travelled widely all over the world, except one country, he mentioned Moscow, Russia. Besides, he travelled all other countries. France, UK, Canada, Germany, USA, China, Malaysia. So there are, I don't want to go on it. And he has published various books. The first one, Economic Reforms with Human Face. The second one, Dr. Ambedkar's Approach to Buddhism towards Socio-Cultural and Democratic Revolution. And in Marathi, Mi Asa Gadalo, autobiography. And he also published on Buddhism and the 21st century, and Buddhism and Contemporary World, and Economy of Maharashtra, Changing Structure and Emerging Issues, Indian Economy in the New Millennium, Indana, Marathi, in Marathi language, The Political Economy of Terms of Trade, and there are various monographs published by Dr. B.L. Ambedkar, India's Economic Reforms and Dalits, an Ambedkarian Perspective, The Political Economy of Globalization, Ambedkar Quest for Democratic Socialism, New Economic Policy and Ambedkarian Perspective, Agricultural Development of Maharashtra, a Blueprint, and besides he has published numerous research papers in leading international, national journals, and he also travelled widely all over the world for presentation of papers, research papers in various international conferences. I don't want to go into detail, I just mentioned few, there are many other, so due to the paucity of time, it's better to listen to him than listen to my words reading his biodata. So with this, once again, I welcome Professor Mungekar. It's our honor and it's our privilege to have Professor B.L. Mungekar as chief guest for this very important function to commemorate Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's 125th birthday. I take just few words, same time to introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor. He needs no introduction, but I must tell a few sentences. Probably Professor K. Bhairappa, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, now has full command over administration and academic activities. Now he has been very much keen in promoting various academic and research activities and extension activities without any hassles. Why I say, there were some hiccups in the beginning, but now he has cleared all the hiccups. And now he has given directions to all the directors, all the coordinators of the various centers, along with our Ambedkar Center and Social Exclusion Center, to organize in a very meaningful and dignified way the various activities, academic activities, to spread the messages of these great people, whether it is Dr. Ambedkar, Nehru, or Patel, or any other personality, or even any religious philosopher who had contributed immensely to the social reform and peace in this society. So Professor Bhairappa is very innovative in administration, in research and other activities, and he expects the same from faculty, research scholars and students. And he has given lot of liberal freedom to everyone, but it is up to the faculty, research scholars, students to make use this liberal freedom to excel in their respective field. Sir, for your kind generosity to organize all the programs under Ambedkar Center, on behalf of my center and my personal behalf, I really thank and also take this opportunity to welcome you to this function. So with these few words, I just stop and request the madam to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for introducing the chief guest as well as the Vice Chancellor. and for briefing on the functioning of the center. Thank you very much. Buddha said, thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and life of the candle will not be shortened by doing so. Thus, it had a giving virtue, and the giving virtue was also found in Babasaheb. And hence, to have the inauguration of this great celebration, we have the lighting of the lamp, followed by floral tribute and garlanding the portrait of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar. May I request all the dignitaries to kindly join in, first to light the lamp, and then to have the floral tribute and garlanding the portrait of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar.
Happy birthday to you, Babasaheb Ambedkar. Happy birthday to you, Babasaheb Ambedkar. Happy birthday to you, Babasaheb Ambedkar. Happy birthday to you, Babasaheb Ambedkar. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. ಶೋಷಿತರಿಗೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರವೇ ನಯ ಯತ್ನ ಬೌದ್ಧ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನ ಬೌದ್ಧ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನ
Very much, sirs. Thank you very much. You have made this birthday very special by your presence as well as your gesture. Thank you very much. Learned colleagues, now we move on to the central focus of the program. A special lecture on the role of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar in building modern India by Professor B.L. Mungekar. Sir, over to you, please.
Respected Vice Chancellor of this university, my friend, Professor Bhairappaji, the Registrar of the University, Dr. Kemparaju, Professor Vishwanath, Director of Center of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar Studies, Shrimati Sabita, Special Officer, Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Cell, distinguished members of faculty, deans, heads of various disciplines and departments, the teaching, the non-teaching staff, the members of the press, distinguished citizens, political workers, social activists, the members of the syndicate, senate, and my distinguished young students friends. When somebody invites you to do something relating to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, it becomes extremely difficult to reply negatively. There are various reasons for this. But before I go into that, people say that whenever I go to the universities, or recently I delivered a lecture in Columbia University, 125 years of Dr. Ambedkar's legacy. People said that Professor Mungekar has honored this occasion. I don't agree with this. By delivering lecture or remembering Dr. Ambedkar's contribution, or commemorating any event that he led in his life, you are not honoring Dr. Ambedkar. You are not honoring the institute. By celebrating Dr. Ambedkar's 125th birth anniversary, we are honoring ourselves by utilizing that opportunity. That is extremely important thing according to me. Ambedkar is beyond honor. I am extremely happy that Mangalore University, I think just 30 years old, 35 years old, has organized this program, and I learned from my colleague and friend, Professor Vishwanath, that despite the fact that Mangalore University is around 3.5 decades old, I read about it because I was member of the Planning Commission and in charge of education sector across the country. I was in charge of all 600 vice chancellors in the country. And I delivered lectures, advised them, got suggestions. But the younger universities in the country, for example, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Madras, all the three were established in 1857. So I gave from the Planning Commission 150 crores of rupees to all the three universities. But I understand Mangalore University very well. I have read about it, the activities, the profile. Vice Chancellor just now telling when he joined, there were hardly 300 research students. Now there are 800 plus research students. That also speaks volume about your performance and academic performance. Now among the younger universities which are less than 40 years old, I must say with sense of gratification that Mangalore University is considered at the national level one of the best younger universities in the country. You are having more than 250 colleges. I think that is more than enough, around 350 acres of campus. And it is devoid of any controversy. I mean, it is not connected to any kind of controversy. Universities are centers of education. Universities are centers of change. Universities are centers of social revolution. In 1968, very popular and famous social scientist and sociologist Herbert Marcuse, when I was a student reading for BA, Marcuse said that universities should become centers of revolution, not centers of counter-revolution. Centers of revolution means centers of study, centers of knowledge. What is university? How university is defined? University is not ordinary association. The university is defined as follows. It is the center or the institution which creates, stores and disseminates knowledge. University's only job is to create new frontiers of knowledge. University's job is not to go for one stereotype ideology. University should enter all conflicting ideologies. Let people decide, let students decide which way is better for social development and social progress. Now we are celebrating Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's 125th birth anniversary. I think it is a great thing. And few universities in the country celebrated in one way or the other, some on a major scale, some on relatively smaller scale. What is the purpose of celebrating Ambedkar's birth anniversary? I think there are many reasons. Of course, I remember when I discuss about Dr. Ambedkar, I remember Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And when I discuss about Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, I remember Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Because these are the two modern intellectual political leaders in the country. Those who have got maximum common things, maximum similarities. My book will be shortly coming on Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and before that it will be coming on Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar's total writings run into 15,500 pages. It took 7 years. Earlier I read all, but then at a stretch, I read all 15,500 pages. It took 7 years for me. And whatever he has written in 15,500 pages, I have summarized in 450 pages. And the book will be published by Dr. Manmohan Singh on 10th December 2016, the Human Rights Day. I think I'm very happy that you are celebrating on a major scale and all of you made it convenient to attend this. Ambedkar is most misunderstood intellectual political leader of the country. Most misunderstood. Ambedkar was the tallest intellectual that this country has produced. By saying this, I don't insult or denigrate or look down upon or underestimate or undermine any intellectual political leader. Ambedkar, if not tallest, probably I say tallest, but somebody will modify and say one of the few tallest intellectual political leader. Can you imagine it? We find after doing PhD, guiding teacher, we find difficult to write 500-word article in Hindu or Times of India and Indian Express. He wrote 15,500 pages. Ambedkar was so multifaceted personality that not a single area that Ambedkar kept untouched. 20th March 2013, Ambedkar went to Columbia University. And purely on merit, at that time there was no reservation. At the time he went, at that time he was 24 years old and registered for MA. His topic, finances of British East India Company. Then he submitted the thesis, Evolution of Provincial Finance in British India, for which he got PhD in 1917. Then he came back to India. Rajarshi Shahu gave him fellowship. He went to London School of Economics and wrote the thesis, The Problem of the Rupee, Its Origins and Solution. Professor Edward Kennan, the famous monetary economist, was his guiding teacher. In Columbia, Professor Edward Seligman was his guiding teacher, the authority on the public finance. I must tell you, till today, Ambedkar is the only brilliant economist who got PhD from Columbia and DSc from London School of Economics. Till today, he is the only single Indian to get these 2 degrees from the best university. Vice Chancellor, sir, first I went to Columbia University when I became Vice Chancellor in December 2000. Vice Chancellor was Professor George Ruff. He was in the meeting. But somebody told, and they are very serious about the meetings. You know, they are not like our meeting, that coming and going. But he was magnanimous to come back and meet me for 10 minutes for a cup of tea. You know what John Ruff told me? He told me, in the entire 400 years of history of Columbia University, Dr.B.R. Ambedkar is the most brilliant student that Columbia produced. Then I went to the hostel room where Dr. Ambedkar was staying. London School of Economics. Those who are you from economics discipline may have heard the name, studied probably, Lord John Maynard Keynes, who published in 1936 the general theory of employment, interest and money. And that changed the entire discourse in economics. It was called Keynesian Revolution. Ambedkar wrote Problem of Rupee as a rejoinder and answer to Keynes, because problem of rupee is dealing with the rate of exchange policy. And Ambedkar wanted stable exchange rate, because if rate of exchange is fluctuating and the value of rupee falls, then poor people are suffering more, and that's why he wanted stable exchange rate. I mean, he was barrister, he was editor, he was journalist, he was professor of political economy and administration, he was lawyer in Mumbai High Court, he was outstanding educationist. When he was member of the Mumbai Legislative Council, Bombay Legislative Council at that time, he introduced the bills, Mumbai University Act, Mumbai University Bill. He was the first to start the morning colleges in the country in 1945, so that the poor students, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, even poor Brahmins for that matter, those who are working and they are not able to take education, for them he started Siddhartha College, of which I am a student, because earning and learning was possible. Ambedkar was the only educationist who understood the needs of the poor working class students. And when I was in Reserve Bank of India, Professor Berap, I must tell you, 50% graduates that produced by Bombay University, they were students of Siddhartha College founded by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Otherwise they could not have taken education. And now also education is becoming highly privatized, commercialized, and you know what is happening. The question is so multifaceted. There is not a single question that Ambedkar did not attempt, did not analyze, and did not provide the solutions. Now he provided the solution 60, 70 years ago. The nature of the problems have undergone a change. That's why we should rethink about the solutions. But there is not a single question of the country, and that is why modern India built up. Now, for example, once he gave interview to All India Radio, somewhere in 1948. And the first sentence of the interview was, it runs as follows, I quote, "The philosophy of my life is enshrined in 3 words, liberty, equality, and fraternity. I must hasten to add that this philosophy or principles I have not taken from the French Revolution. I have taken these from the teachings of my Guru, Lord Buddha," unquote. Ambedkar converted to Buddhism in 1956, 14th October. But he was by conviction Buddhist much earlier. Because what is Buddhism? It is liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is social justice. And these are the foundational principles. The entire foundation of modern India is based on liberty, equality, fraternity, and social justice. After getting freedom, we adopted Indian Constitution on 26th January 1950. You know, Congress has done one good thing. Before partition, Constituent Assembly was constituted in 1946. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was on 9th December 1946. After partition, Ambedkar was member of the Constituent Assembly. Those of you who are working in Dalit politics or Congress politics must understand this. Many people don't know this, including prominent political leaders. Ambedkar was elected to the Constituent Assembly from Bengal. After partition, Ambedkar's constituency went into East Pakistan and he lost his membership of the Constituent Assembly. Then how to manage constitution making without the benefit of the knowledge of Dr. Ambedkar? Sardar Patel wrote letter to B.J. Kher, the then Chief Minister of Mumbai State. At that time it was Bombay State. Gujarat, Karnataka and Maharashtra, they were all the three states. They became separate on 1st May 1960, Karnataka, Gujarat and Maharashtra with Mumbai. Barrister M.R. Jaikar was the member of the Constituent Assembly for Mumbai. Congress asked Jaikar to resign from the position, and in his position, in his seat, Congress brought Dr. Ambedkar again to the Constituent Assembly. It means that if Congress would not have been there and Congress would not have accepted Dr. Ambedkar because there was absolute necessity for Dr. Ambedkar to rejoin the Constitution. Now one thing Congress must understand, by reappointing Dr. Ambedkar as a member of the Constituent Assembly, Congress party, 82 members of the Congress party, I mean the members of the Constituent Assembly, they were belonging to Congress party. Because Muslim League had 70 members, but after partition, they went. 82 and 18% were princely state, these kings and queens and your princely states and zamindars and lords and etc. etc. That's why Constitution is the product of the Congress party. But had Dr. Ambedkar not been there, please remember the Constitution today that we are having, we could not have that Constitution. What I am telling is, I have been telling Congress people that by reappointing Ambedkar in the Constituent Assembly, Congress has not obliged Dr. Ambedkar at all. It is the great thing that Dr. Ambedkar accepted that, and Dr. Ambedkar said, when I joined the Constituent Assembly, my object was very limited, providing safeguards and some welfare measures for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. That was my initial agenda. But then, as the work progressed, then I remained preoccupied by the nation building. Why Congress brought Dr. Ambedkar? Those of you who are studying law, you should think something about Constituent Assembly debates. There are more than, I think, 2,500, 2,600 pages of the Constituent Assembly debates. Each and every question, word by word, it was discussed and deliberated. There were giant Constituent Assembly. There was one steering committee, the drafting committee of 7 members. Why Dr. Ambedkar was made to join the Congress, the Constituent Assembly? On this public platform, members of press, honorable members of press are available here. I venture to make a statement. Except Dr. Ambedkar, despite giant members of the Constituent Assembly, there was nobody eligible to become the chairman of the drafting committee except Dr. Ambedkar. This was knowledge of Dr. Ambedkar. Because there were too many conflicting views, ideas, ideologies. And then Ambedkar has to, he did not have any political party. He was appointed the political party which he opposed tooth and nail. Right from 1924, when he started 1920, Bahishkrita Karni Sabha, Ambedkar criticized Congress party heavily because he was in opposition party. Very few people have criticized Congress in strong words as Dr. Ambedkar did. And very many people criticized Dr. Ambedkar heavily when he was alive because he was not directly in the freedom movement led by Mahatma Gandhi. And I think there was no mistake on part of Dr. Ambedkar by not joining the freedom movement. I will give you a simple illustration. Vice Chancellor is just now telling me that this auditorium will be renovated. Now this is made best possible auditorium in the whole country. And the capacity is 1,500. It means more than 1,500 people you cannot accommodate. It means those who cannot be accommodated, for them this your renovated auditorium is not relevant. Ambedkar was asking question, for which freedom I should fight for? Whose country's freedom I should fight for? He once told Gandhi, I don't have motherland. I read today news in the Hindu newspaper, your Basaveshwara temple is open to Dalits now. After 60 years of independence, democratic, revolutionary, republican constitution, Dalits took 60 years, 70 years to enter Basaveshwara temple. Today, the freedom struggle was earlier, 70, 80 years earlier. At that time, Ambedkar question for which country's freedom I should fight for was logical question. The fact is that what Congress was not able to do as a political party, Ambedkar was doing by remaining outside the Congress party. And that's why both of them, rather than considering that they were having conflicting interests or they are opposed to each other, we must understand historically that they were complementary to each other. Ambedkar undertook the task of the making of the Constitution. And you know, Indian Constitution, the lengthiest constitution in the world, around 392 articles, schedules and this and that, very, very minute details. It is based on directive principle state policy, fundamental rights. Those of you who are political science students may be understanding well that democracy is having around 500 to 600 years of history. But not a single democracy in the world gave adult suffrage right to every individual without distinction of caste, race, language, religion, sex or color. In 1968, American Constitution was amended, 12th amendment to the American Constitution, and blacks were given right to vote. They did not have right to vote. Hardly, except Margaret Thatcher, no prime minister was woman so far British is concerned, which is considered as the mother of democracy. In the entire history, Australia, Canada, Germany, England, in the entire history of political democracy, Indian Constitution made revolution by giving right to vote to every individual. This is social revolution. It was political revolution. Ambani is having 1,10,000 crores of rupees total assets. And people, those who are on the road, living in slums, do not get water, do not get rice, jawar or bajra or ragi, what to eat today, what to eat tomorrow morning. He or she also is given the right to vote. This is the revolution of the Indian Constitution made. And Dr. Ambedkar substantially, there were many people saying that we do not have right to vote, we cannot give to every individual. We must give to those who are having wealth, those who are having property, and those who are having education. Recently, Rajasthan government and Himachal government, they have passed the act that those Gram Panchayat election you must have 7 standard qualification, and Taluk Panchayat Samiti, that is Block Panchayat Samiti, you must have matriculation, education qualification. I said in the parliament that this is fraud on the constitution. This country doesn't belong to vice chancellors, members of planning commission, prime ministers, chief ministers, chief justices, commissioners and IAS officers. This country belongs to the most ordinary people in the country. They are owners of the country. And you cannot arbitrarily take away their rights. Because Constitution doesn't have any constraint except the fact that you must be citizen of India. Your voting right is up to 18. For Lok Sabha, your age should be 25. And for Rajya Sabha, your age should be 30. Beyond that, there is no condition either for contesting the election, for voting right. That's why you are making counter-revolution and people are silent. And who are the people, those who will not be able to contest the elections? Scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. There is no agitation. There is no movement. They are just silent spectators. Poor people in the world must remember, you can't get your rights by sitting in your rooms and shallow discussions. Rights you are able to get only if you are willing to fight for your rights. Now the question is, Indian Constitution I consider as the democratic social revolution. Second important problem is the caste problem. Dr. Ambedkar is historic. Please remember one thing. People feel that caste is the problem of the only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. There is no greater foolishness than this. Caste, suppose for example, if I ask you, you are around 500 or 600, and we 4 or 5 sitting on the dais. If I ask you what is your caste, you will say my caste is this and that. Scheduled caste, among scheduled caste there are 100 castes. You may be Lingayata, you may be Okaliga, you may be Jat, this, that, Kayastha. Means what? What is the answer? When you say I belong to Kayastha, I belong to Saraswat, means what? There is no answer. There is no answer because caste is unscientific. There is no science. In anthropology it is called eugenics. Human anatomy, for example, my blood, B positive. Somebody else is B positive. What is the distinction between the elements of blood? So for your B positive and my, or anybody for that matter, gender, caste, race, Muslim, color, sex, education. 3 PhDs from Harvard, Cambridge and Bombay University or Mangalore University. An illiterate person who is not able to sign and read letter. Both of them B positive blood group. What is the difference between the blood? I think it is absolutely foolish concept. And this concept is there ruling the nation, psychology, economy, politics, culture, education for last 2000 years. So Ambedkar wanted basically caste system need to be abolished. Untouchability. Can you imagine untouchability is the word? Untouchable means human beings are untouchable. I have read Vedas, I have read Manusmriti, I have read Dharma Shastras. What is untouchability? You can touch any dirty thing in the world, but you can't touch human being. And today, out of nearly 4 lakh villages in the country, minimum 2.5 lakh villages still in the rural areas, untouchability is practiced. People say that in the urban areas there is no untouchability. This is wrong. In urban areas, in the major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mangalore, everywhere, there is still untouchability. But then untouchability is disguised. There is no time. Mumbai local, for example, in one local compartment, you can have maximum 80 persons travel comfortably. You are having 200 persons.